guy, Robert Edward Shuttler, was born November 30th of 1912 in the town of Nokomis in Montgomery County, Illinois. His father was a coal mine inspector, and his mother was a housewife, and they were parents to 5 other boys and girls. And a girl, excuse me. He attended a rural elementary school and high school in several southern Illinois towns, completing his senior year at the age of 16 in Carbondale, Illinois, what is now Southern Illinois University. His pre-med schooling was the Champaign-Urbana campuses of the University of Illinois, where he and fellow fraternity brothers moved a trolley car off its tracks while the engineer was on his lunch break. And when the guy came back, they want to see his reaction, and then they did put the trolley back on the tracks. In order to make ends meet, Dad was helping a farmer get livestock to the St. Louis stockyards, and he passed through Redbud. You corrected me, it was a train. He was on a train. We understood it was a train. However, they got the stock to it. He decided Redbud was where he would set up his practice. So in medical school, he completed that at the University of Illinois campus in Chicago, and during that time, he moonlighted at the Cook County morgue, where many a med student got their new shoes, if you know what I mean. He happened to be working the night John Dillinger's body was brought in, but as far as we know, Dad's not on that big picture that has it. He graduated in '36, then completed his internship and residency at Deaconess Hospital in Cincinnati, Ohio, where he met our mom, Gertrude Julia Marie Kohlmorgen. She was the head nurse of the obstetrics, delivery, and nursery at the time. So the story goes, she was assisting in a delivery, and all Dad saw were her blue eyes. The rest is history. Dad assured our grandparents, Grandpa and Grandma Kohlmorgen, that he intended to join the LCMS, Lutheran Church, and the wedding took place July 11th, 1937. That happened to be the 25th anniversary of our Grandpa and Grandma Kohlmorgen, by the way. With the move to Redbud in August of '37, Dad and Mom set up practice on East Main Street. It was next to the cigar factory. East Market. I know, I can't read my own writing. East Market, and there was a cigar factory on the north side of town. Along came our brother Richard in June of '38, a week before Mom's birthday. And I always thought my mom was really special. Lots of people put their flags out on that day. And then I learned Mom's birthday was Flag Day, 14th. The 3 resided at East Market till duty called in '42, and Dad served in the Army Air Corps through '46 and discharged to captain. Upon returning from the war, Dad and Mom and Dick lived with Gookers. Gookers had the old Rexall grocery store, drugstore. What did I say, grocery? Oh, jeez. It's the water. For a time, till they bought the house on South Main Street. He would walk through Giebert's yard to the hospital for morning rounds and then come back home for the car and drive to his office. There were 4 offices after he came home from the war. We learned that the first one was the upstairs Zeeble building. It was after the war. Okay, brain's gone. After the war, so it was a Zeeble building. Then there was an office on North Main, one on just South Main, where it was a flower shop, and I'm not sure what it is now, and then down across from the high school. And Judy and I came along, and along with Dick, we attended St. John's Lutheran School and then Redbud High School. Dad was involved with his family, his church, the school, Colorado vacations, deer and elk hunting, rabbit hunting. He's also the biggest rabbit a fellow hunter ever shot, and he still had the buckshot in his head to prove it. He could let me feel it sometimes. And he's squirrel hunting. He belonged to medical societies, Randolph and St. Clair counties, plus the Illinois Medical Association. He had visiting privilege as what I always call it St. Clement's and Sparta Hospitals, and was the first president of the St. Clement's medical staff. Through all this, he made home visits in the surrounding area, sometimes hanging on the back of a tractor to get to the house, and he also did home deliveries. If you want to know that story, the one I know, see me later. He loved his work with the Boy Scouts, ruled the Cub Scout Pinewood Derby as if it was a dictatorship, and for that devotion he was awarded the Silver Beaver. There was a trip to Colorado that many parents were sure their boys would be eaten by a bear. And if you want the whole story behind that, see me later. After retirement, he continued to volunteer at church, hospital, and school committees, plus the Human Services Center. He adored the adores of the blood of Christ and was devastated when we lost our 5 nuns in Liberia, and that was back in '92. By the late '90s, Mom and Dad were ready to settle where Mom could get extra care, so off to Nazareth Living Center in South County they went. Dad was visiting Mom in her room when the Lord called him September 15th, '99. according to his final words from Mom, he said, "It's the big one, Trude." I could always make my mom laugh when I did that. But we know he is with his Lord and Savior, probably arguing over blood sugars with his other brothers. If you knew Doc, you knew he was the Whistler. Thank you so much.